Hello, everybody. I am Jessica Koch, and this is another episode of Profound Professionals. I have been doing this interview series for almost 4 years now, and we interview and feature CEOs and industry leaders from all over the world who are doing profound things, you guessed it, both in their business and in the world itself. And today I have the honor of having Monifa Robinson Groover. She is the CEO and founder of Within Your Reach Consulting Services, and she's a leadership coach, consultant speaker, and corporate trainer. And we are excited to have you here today.
Thank you for having me, Jessica.
Yeah, no, this is tons of fun. I love doing this. I get to meet the most interesting people from all over our planet. And so tell us, so Within Your Reach Consulting Services. So talk to us about what led you to starting your own business.
You know, I tell people I wish I had this phenomenal story where I was in corporate America and I got laid off and I found my purpose there. But that's not me, sorry. Basically, I can tell you that I have always had a passion for working with women in leadership. And I never wanted to wait until I was 99 years old to get started doing it. So I said, and my background, even though it's in clinical social work, is also in public administration with a concentration in management. And so I wanted to blend not only my educational experiences, but my passion for helping women, as I say, kind of burst through there and break through their personal and professional glass ceilings, and start working with them more one-on-one and in group settings and in corporate settings to really help them navigate this thing called life. So as a result, Within Your Reach Consulting Services was born.
So how long have you had the consulting firm?
Oh, I've been in business since 2005.
Oh, yeah. So you've been doing this for a hot minute.
Yes.
So it sounds like you got some degrees in college and then decided to do what? Did you work for another consulting firm or did you launch right into your own company?
Oh, no. I definitely worked for other agencies and companies for a number of years, even while I started trying to start it Within Your Reach, so it was one of those things where, okay, let me start trying to do this over here while I'm still making steady income over there.
Right?
So it blossoms,
Yeah.
I didn't have that much to just leap out on faith just at that point just yet without some steady income. So, it really, even though it was birthed during a time that I was actually working for other individuals and corporations, it actually, just kind of grew, into my dream. It's still growing, but yeah, it grew.
Well, that's awesome. So do you work with clients globally or nationally or?
Oh, yes, all over, globally. A lot of my clients are currently national, but I do have a few global clients that I work with individually. I love my clients. My clients are, while they are very accomplished in their own right, and in their lane, so to speak, a lot of my clients come to me when they still see that they need a little help with clarity, or their purpose is getting a little cloudy, or they need some strategy on how to get from point A to point B. So I just love my clients because they're ready to do the work.
And so what kinds of transformations or things can a customer experience when they're working with you? Whether it's, I guess, corporate training or an individual, what kind of, what are they coming to you for, really?
A lot of them are coming to me for clarity. You'll be surprised at how, even though one may be extremely accomplished in their own right, how sometimes life has a way of convoluting things, so to speak. And so a lot of them come for clarity. A lot of them also come when they're in transition. So whether it be transition within and staying within corporate America, whether it be transition in their personal life and trying to maintain that work-life balance, or whether it be transitioning from corporate America into entrepreneurship. So, transition and clarity are probably what I see a lot of the most.
But if you're working with corporate training and corporate clients in the leadership space, what kind of things is that CEO or head of the corporation expecting their team and the company to experience? Because, clarity is great, but, they're typically looking for something to hit the bottom line based on this investment.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my clients, believe it or not, when I do my one-on-one coaching with my clients, my leadership clients, they are really a lot of times caught between a rock and a hard place when it comes to decision making on some things that challenge their integrity. At the same time, cause them to have to make decisions that are best for the company or best for their department. And so oftentimes when they come to me, they are asking me to help them navigate this process, because they don't want to act without integrity, but at the same time, they do understand that they have to meet a bottom line. So how do we blend the two so that we can feel good at the end of the day, and also make a profit?
Yeah, I actually walked away from a position because I was asked to do things that weren't within my values, and I just said no, not doing that.
And that's awesome. I actually teach a course also as an adjunct professor at Denver University, and the course title is entitled "Leading with Integrity." So, believe it or not, and I think a lot of people that aren't necessarily in higher levels of leadership don't really see it the same. But believe it or not, integrity is challenged at every level for these leaders. And it's amazing how sometimes it really puts them in a position where they feel stuck and they really don't know what to do. And so, when you talk about leaving a position, that's not uncommon to hear, in terms of when leaders are trying to determine what their options are. It's not uncommon at all. Unfortunately, we see on the news and otherwise where the opposite is very common, which is why, even when I one of my corporate training topics is Eagle Vision. Right. And it's based on actually a book that I wrote entitled Eagle Vision, and it forces the reader and those that attend these particular trainings to look at themselves from an eagle's point of view. And so we actually go through the unique characteristics of an eagle. And we ask you to compare yourself in those respects to see where you match up when it comes to that. And the fortunate part is if you don't feel like you kind of meet the mark, this is the time to get it right, But unfortunately, we see so many people that can get to the top. But unfortunately cannot stay there because of lack of integrity, lack of that vision, that's needed so badly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I hear that you can do a corporate training package, and I'm hearing from what you're sharing that you can do some one-on-one. What are some other ways that people can work with you?
Well, before COVID hit, we actually also had VIP retreats, particularly. They can be for anyone, but I just have a passion for helping women. So that's just kind of my niche. But, we had VIP retreats where we had just a select few, we keep it usually 10 and under, women in leadership that come together. And it's not, this is not a time to talk about how to increase your profits. This is not about the time to network. If you network, that's fine, but it's really us as a company within your reach pouring into the leaders. Our motto when it comes to that VIP retreat is you take care of everyone else, but who's taking care of you? And so this is a time to take off that leadership hat, be in a room full of women that understand. Have you ever been in a room, Jessica, with people that understand what you've been going through and you don't even have to say a word? And it's just this sense of belonging and just this aha moment, like you can just breathe finally. That's
I'm fortunate that I do have a lot of really wonderful women, friends and colleagues that own their own businesses, that are in the same field as me, that do understand more than most, what I'm working on or
yes.
building or trying to do. But for me, work is so fun. I wouldn't want to shut it off all the way for even for a retreat. Like I like the planning and the dreaming and the having the time to do the fun parts of the work. I actually schedule time on my calendar to just plan out kind of the master vision of where is it going and what is it going to do and what do we need to get there, and then I reverse engineer and everything, and then we implement, right? So
And I think that's necessary and needed. But one of the unique things that I think any of my clients will tell you is that no matter what we talk about to help you get from point A to point B, personally or professionally, there's always that caveat of self-care. There's always that caveat that I put in there in terms of really gaining more insight into what's going on internally with you that's keeping you from getting to where your next level is supposed to be, personally and professionally. And that's the purpose of the retreat. Like, I mean, now if working is in you and you have your business card and you want to pass it out, I'm not going to be mad at you.
well,
but
I think I'm
you would not have to come to that particular retreat, I'll say, and have to. It's not a time where we're going to talk about strategy,
right,
unless it's about strategy on how to decompress, because we
right.
really want to take care of you.
Well, I probably is hard for me to unwind, almost because, like I said, I like being wound. But I think there's I'm 48 and fabulous, and there's something really wonderful to being more seasoned, I think, because I'm at a stage in my life where I've stopped standing in my own way. And that's one of those things. It's one of those things that it's always a work in progress. Like, a couple of times a day, you got to check yourself to say, okay, is there something going on? But being able to identify it, remove it, and move forward, it becomes a habit, and it's something you do all the time. And, I know earlier in my 20s and 30s, OMG, did I need that mindset piece to get the heck out of my own way. But I am fortunate enough where I feel like I've worked on that part hard enough that, that things are really flowing well, and you do see a huge difference, and you see them change in increments too. Like, I know I had like like I said, in my 20s, this money mindset issue, and then I saw it click and move, and then I saw it click and move again and again. So it becomes wider and wider. So beyond being master of the universe or overseeing multiple universes, I don't think I could click it up any higher. But I do, looking backwards, I do see that progression in myself. And I would say, if I could have gotten it earlier, man, go get it. Go work with someone that is going to help your mindset. It is definitely.
I think the same way. If we all, could tell our younger selves, like, where would I be? And I'm 49, headed on the road to 50. So we're not too far behind.
That's all right, because I'm going to live to be 160, so it's no big deal.
You got me beat. But if I could tell my younger self, so to speak, even half the things that I know now, or half the things that I'm learning, I mean, I think I'm halfway unstoppable now. What would I really be thinking?
I know, right? I guess we had to learn the way we learned. So here we are.
And that's what helps us impact our clients even more so. To me, at least with what I do, it's not just about the education I received, even though I'm so grateful for it and enjoyed it.
Mhm.
It's not just about what I do and with the clients, but the experience that I bring to the table personally, I
Mhm.
think is really what clients appreciate in combination with all of that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Is there anything else before we move on that you want to share about your business or about what's going on from you from a business standpoint?
No, just enjoying the corporate trainings and the individual consultations and coaching pieces, and can't wait to get back to these retreats.
Yeah,
With
I think
Jazz.
it's coming soon for a lot of people. We'll make sure that everything that we're talking about and all the ways to reach Monifa is in the chat or below this video, and we'll also have an article and other places that you'll be able to find it that'll come together. So the one thing that made me really excited about starting an interview series and featuring really fabulous people globally is also seeing I saw a connection between amazing people doing amazing things in the world. It seems like they always say doers always find time to do more, right? Like people who get things done just get things done, and the people running businesses, doing innovative things in their industry were also the people I noticed that had their arms wrapped around amazing causes and doing great things in the planet. So, what are some of the other things that you're focused on as far as what makes your heart sing beyond business? Because we talked about retreat and resting, but how are we impacting the world beyond business?
You know, even once again, my heart goes out to women. And
Mhm.
so, at various opportunities, when I have a chance, I love to connect and work with those who work with women in domestic violence. One of my
Mhm.
um, I think I mentioned earlier, in terms of my background, clinical social work and public
Mhm.
administration and management, just being able to see the life that comes forth, after someone has felt like they've been in darkness for so long,
Mhm.
really kind of gives me joy. So anytime I have an opportunity to put on, whether it's a virtual series or to connect or collaborate with an organization connected with those who are dealing with those particular issues, it makes my
Mhm.
heart smile.
Yeah, no, it's so important because people need to know that they're not alone and that they're strong enough to face and get through and push
Yeah,
that to the behind them. I mean, I believe in not just putting it in a box or shoving it under the rug. Deal with it, go through it, process it, but then keep moving forward after that. You don't have to relive challenges in your life over and over again. So
exactly.
finding a way and a healthy way to get through it.
Mhm.
And then, I think there are some things that do stay with you for a lifetime, but it's just like that mindset thing. Several times a day, you might just have to learn to, identify it,
Yeah,
use the tools you have in your toolkit to process it in a healthy way, and then move forward with
exactly.
what you're doing so that again not your experiences or yourself are standing in the way of
Exactly.
your success and the life in this moment. So being
Yes.
present, I think, is so powerful and incredible.
Yes.
I am so glad that you spent some time with us today. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. And I am so grateful for all of you who took the time to watch with us. And I would say that showing love with action is the best way you can show up for us, and like, share, and comment on this video to help us out. And before we say goodbye, I always like to ask my guests, you have had this success journey, and some sort of something along the way has been a big part of that success. Sometimes it's a habit, sometimes it's a great book. There's all these different things that impact people's lives that are kind of key in helping them take those amazing strides forward. I have a particular book I read over, I have a couple that I'll reread almost every year because they're just that profound, and wherever I am in my life at that that time, it has a whole new meaning, right? So
Yeah.
there's those things that kind of come with you and carry along. Share with us one thing, or several things, whatever you'd like to, that have impacted for you.
Oh gosh. There's this quote that I saw a long time ago, and it rang true for me, not just on paper, but actually in my life. And it said, "She walked with God. That was her game-changing strategy."
Wow.
And that was powerful for me. She walked with God. That was her game-changing strategy. And the reason it was powerful is because I had spent so many years doing
Hmm.
things, and not saying that those things were bad. You need to do things if you want to accomplish things. So I don't want to put that make it seem like you don't have to do anything. But I think when I truly got to the point in my walk with Christ, where I made him number one. Where
Hmm.
I was like, God, you are it. Like, I need your direction in every area of my life.
Hmm.
That was actually my game-changing strategy. It changed the trajectory of events for my entire life, including my business. And so I, you know, I tell people, it's just, for me, it's just been too important. It's just been important for me to incorporate God and my relationship with Jesus Christ into who I am and what I do. And he's the one that ultimately makes it work, because I've seen myself do things and it not work. I've been in the right rooms, so to speak. I've talked to the right people, and yet some things haven't worked out. And when I said, "All right, God, I need you," it was like he said, "Okay, finally." And then here I am.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We've had one more amazing Profound Professionals interview. And so until the next one, I always say be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. And we'll see you the next time. And if you know a profound professional that should be on this interview series, or you happen to be one, reach out and give us a call.